I often get asked what are the best pets to use or obtain in World of Warcraft for PvE pet battles. To answer this, I thought it would be easier just to make a quick video on the pets that I frequently use in World of Warcraft. Now the pets I'm about to list won't be perfect for every battle, but they will come in useful in a lot of PvE pet battles throughout the game. These pets are normally my go-to pets that I will always try and use first when attempting any new PvE pet battle. Some of these will require a little bit of effort to obtain, but a lot of them can be purchased on the auction house. So these are my top 15 recommended pets in no particular order that I use on a regular basis. So I'm going to start at number 15 with Grumpy, aka the pet catching pet. Now I'm sure anybody who collects pets in WoW will have at least one of these pets in their team. This pet will not be used in any of the main pet battles, however it really is a super useful pet to have in catching pets. I'm sure we've all been out and about catching pets when you get to that point in the battle when you just need to do a little bit of extra damage to get that pet you're after into capture range, only to use an ability that then wipes out the pet that you're trying to catch. Well, this is where Grumpy is the perfect pet for that occasion. Grumpy has 3 abilities that I use to capture pets. Bark, which does a moderate amount of damage and reduces the target's next attack. Howl, that increases your damage by 100% for 2 rounds. And Super Bark, which is the key ability in catching pets, as this ability when combined with Howl does a large amount of damage. However, it cannot take the pet you are fighting below 1 HP. This means that you will always be able to get the pet that you're after into capture range without accidentally killing it. You can obtain Grumpy from the Legion expansion in the zone of Val'Sharah at Bradensbrook, directly under the letter N or coordinates 3966. There is a burning building at this location, so just go inside. Head up the stairs and you will see Grumpy in a side passage. Simply click on him to obtain him. You can also obtain him from the auction house if needed. At number 14 I'm going to have the Darkmoon Zeppling and the Darkmoon Tonk. I tend not to use these pets so much in my pet battle videos, as they can only be obtained from the Darkmoon Island when the Darkmoon Fair is in town. Check the in-game calendar if you wish to see when the next fair is in town. These pets are not that difficult to obtain, and I'd highly recommend that you go get them. Each pet requires 90 Darkmoon Fair tickets. To obtain these, simply do the Darkmoon Island quests when the fair is in town, and once you have enough, speak to the pet vendor as shown on the map, coordinates 4869, to claim your prize. These pets are both mechanical, which means they come back to life once per battle. They are both really good against beast pets. The Darkmoon Tonk really packs a punch with the ion cannon and can be used to finish off pets that have a decent amount of health remaining. The Darkmoon Zeppling is one of the pets in the game that has the decoy ability. This is really useful in certain fights that require a good defensive ability, as this can be used to nullify large amounts of damage, which can be a game changer. These are 2 really good pets, so I highly recommend just taking the time to go get them. At number 13 we have Bennex. Now having any type of frog or toad is very useful, as they are great against undead pets, with their tongue lash and their damage over time ability of swarm of flies. However, the reason I prefer to use the Bennex toad is because it also has the bubble ability, which is a really powerful defensive ability that completely blocks the next 2 attacks. This is extremely useful in certain fights, where you could otherwise be potentially one-shot with a powerful ability. There is another toad called the Mud Jumper that has the exact same abilities and can be found in the Grand in Draenor. However, the Bennex toad can be found in Suramar in the Legion expansion from the Rare Mob Annex at coordinates 3452, and it's pretty much a 100% drop rate, but can only be looted once per character. This means if you want to farm 3 of these pets, then you will need to kill it on 3 separate characters. However, this pet can also be purchased on the auction house, making it a lot easier to obtain than the Mud Jumper toad. At number 12 we have the Zandalari knee biter and Zandalari ankle render pets. These pets are great due to the double debuffs they can apply with the Black Claw and Hunting Party abilities. Black Claw adds an extra amount of damage to every attack and lasts for 3 rounds, and when combined with the Hunting Party ability, which increases damage taken by 50% for 1 round, then these two abilities can do a massive amount of damage to a number of pets in the game, especially when used in conjunction with the Unborn Valkyrie pet. These drop from the Zandalari Dinomancer mobs on the Isle of Giants in the Mists of Pandaria expansion, along with 2 other pets known as the Zandalari Toe Nibbler and the Zandalari Foot Slasher. But it's the knee biter and ankle render pets that you want. Just simply ride around the island, killing any of the Zandalari mobs, and eventually they will drop. They can however also be purchased on the auction house. At number 11 we have Ikky. Ikky in my opinion is one of the best pets in the game, and it has been a super powerful pet since the Warlords of Draenor expansion. However, in the Shadowlands expansion, Ikky has been slightly nerfed, but it's still a highly effective pet and I definitely recommend you obtain it. Ikky is basically the flying version of the Zandalari pets I've just mentioned, but slightly more powerful. The Black Claw ability adds an extra amount of damage to every attack, and that lasts for 3 rounds. And when combined with the Flock ability, which increases damage taken by 50% for 2 rounds, it can easily do a massive amount of damage to most pets in the game, and when combined with the Unborn Valkyrie pet, it can wipe out a lot of the major daily pet battles. You can get Ikky from the Warlords of Draenor expansion in the Spires of Arak, starting with the quest chain called the Shadow of Sketis, located at coordinates 3818. Make sure you turn on the trivial quest tracker to help locate the quests if needed. Just complete the quest chain and you will eventually end up with Ikky as your reward in your pet journal. However, I'd recommend just buying him from the auction house, as Ikky is relatively cheap now. However, if you do want to complete the Ikky quest line, then I'll leave a link to a helpful video below if required. At number 10 we have the Unborn Valkyrie. This in my opinion is one of the best pets in the game, especially when combined with certain pets such as Ikky or the Zandalari Kneebiter or Ankle Render pets. Since it's an undead pet, it means you will always get 2 extra turns after you die. This pet can spawn in multiple locations in Northrend. Simply Google Unborn Valkyrie spawn locations if you want to see them all. I recommend using alts and then leaving them in the different spawn locations. I personally just tended to leave one alt in Sholazar Basin at coordinates 5823, then I would just fly around the spawn location for a few minutes and see if I could find one. If not, I'd log out and try again later. This can be a somewhat time consuming and slightly annoying pet to try and obtain, but it really is worth the effort. I've used this pet for years now, and after all that time, it's still one of the most useful and powerful pets in the game, and you definitely won't regret getting it. Unfortunately, you cannot purchase this on the auction house. At number 9 we have the Fell Flame. This is an elemental pet and it works really effectively against mechanical pets. And that's the reason why I have it. This pet is a bit of a glass cannon and can do a lot of damage relatively quickly. The combination of the Conflagrate and Immolate abilities can be really powerful against certain setups, and it's just an all-round solid pet to have. They can be obtained from Tanaan Jungle in Draenor, which is in the Warlords of Draenor expansion, coordinates 5325, or from Shadowmoon Valley in Outland, which is in the Burning Crusade expansion at Eclipse Point, coordinates 4662. This is a very easy pet to obtain, so it's a no-brainer not to have it. At number 8 we have the Mechanical Pandaren Dragon. This is made by the engineering profession, so it will be purchased from the auction house. This pet is an SS breed, aka Speed. This means it almost always gets to attack first. It is also a mechanical pet, which also means it revives once upon death. It is also one of the pets that has the decoy ability, which makes it a great pet to use when you need a powerful defensive ability. Again, this is such an easy pet to obtain, so there is no reason not to have it. At number 7 we have Chromanus. Chromanus is a pet that has a lot of health and is really effective against flying pets. The combination of Howl and the Surge of Power ability can cause a tremendous amount of damage to enemies. This pet is obtained from the Blackwing Lair raid from the boss Chromanus, and can only be farmed once per week per character. However, it can be purchased on the auction house, and it's a worthy addition to your collection. At number 6 we have the Iron Starlet. This is a really great pet to have, as it's a mechanical pet, and will revive once per death during combat. The combination of wind up and supercharge abilities mean that this one pet can at times almost one-shot your opponent. It can be obtained via a quest chain for both Horde and Alliance, that I believe starts in the Blasted Lands. However, it would take a long time to put all that into this video, so if you are interested in doing the quest line, then please check out the Wowhead links in the description box below. However, because of this quest chain, I recommend you just buy this off the auction house to save yourself a lot of time and effort. At number 5 is the Clockwork Gnome. This is a great pet to have to fight against beast pets, as the build turret ability is a fantastic damage over time ability and can prove very useful in a lot of battles. The Clockwork Gnome can be obtained through the archaeology profession. It is created by discovering and solving dwarf archaeology fragments. To do this you need to farm the dig sites located on your map. These are indicated by the little shovel icons. In order for new dig sites to spawn, you need to complete the ones showing on your map, and not every one of them will be for dwarven archaeology. Eventually, after enough farming, you will receive the Clockwork Gnome, but it can take a while to obtain. So just like the Iron Starlet pet, I highly recommend you just purchase it from the auction house to save yourself a lot of time and effort. At number 4 is the Nexus whelpling. This is a good pet to have against flying pets, as it can be a massive damage dealer, especially when the Arcane Storm and Mana Surge abilities are used. It can be obtained from Caldara in Northrend at coordinates 3022. This is such an easy pet to obtain, so again, you really should just go capture it. At number 3 we have the Pandaren Water Spirit. This used to be an unbelievably powerful pet, but unfortunately Blizzard nerfed it, so it's not as powerful as it once was. However, that does not mean it's still not worth having, as it's still an incredibly useful pet to have, especially against mechanical pets. Its dive and whirlpool ability are great, as they both stun and help avoid damage. It can be obtained from daily pet battles from the Battle Pet Masters that are spread out across Pandaria. These are indicated by the large green paw icons on the Pandarian map. These masters have a chance to drop different spirit pets from the Pandarian spirit pet supplies you obtain if you win. The Flowing Pandaren Spirit, who is located in the Dread Wastes at coordinate 6188, is one of the ones who has a chance to drop the Water Spirit. However, in my opinion, the best way to get this pet is to just buy it from the auction house if you can. At number 2 we have the Olive Tail Hare. Now, having any kind of rabbit or hare is always useful, as they are good against elemental pets. They are also super fast, meaning more often than not you always get to attack first, especially if you get an SS aka Speed breed. They are also great evasion pets, as they are good at avoiding attacks with the dodge and burrow abilities, as well as doing decent damage with scratch. You can obtain this pet in Azuna in the Legion expansion, coordinates 4222. It's very easy to catch, so it's well worth getting. Finally, at number 1 we have the Anubis idol. This, in my opinion, is easily one of the best, if not the best defensive pet in the game, and it's a no-brainer not to be on the list. This is one pet that, in my opinion, everybody should have. It has a massive health pool, and since it's a humanoid, it has a passive self-heal ability when doing damage. The Sandstorm ability helps reduce damage done to you, as well as making certain attacks just outright miss. The deflection spell is extremely powerful, as it can always be used first, which means when you know a massive attack is about to hit you, you can put up your shield to completely block it. It can be obtained in the Temple of Anchorage raid in Silithus from the Twin Emperor's boss. However, if you don't wish to farm it, then you can buy it from the auction house. It's a super reliable tank pet, so go get it. Anyway guys, I hope you found this somewhat helpful. So thanks for watching, please do comment, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.